Welcome back to the 30-Day English Challenge. We are on day 24, and today we're going to give you the tools to express your opinions and make decisions. Every single day, we compare things. You decide if a coffee is better than the one you had yesterday. You decide if a movie is more exciting than the last one you watched. You decide which path is the fastest way to get to work. Without comparisons, our descriptions are flat. We could only say, "This is a big house." But with the power of today's lesson, you can say, "This house is bigger than mine," or "This is the biggest house on the street." Comparing things helps us navigate the world and make better choices. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to rank everything in your life from the smallest detail to the greatest achievement. Let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. In English, we have two main ways to compare. The first is the comparative. We use this when we are comparing exactly two things. The second is the superlative. We use this when we are comparing three or more things or an entire group. For short adjectives, words with only one syllable, the rules are very simple. To make it a comparative, we add "er" to the end. To make it a superlative, we add "es" to the end and use the word "the" before it. Take the word small, one syllable. Comparative, my phone is smaller than yours. Superlative, this is the smallest phone in the store. Take the word fast, one syllable. Comparative, a plane is faster than a car. Superlative, the jet is the fastest way to travel. Now, what happens if the word is long? If an adjective has two or more syllables, like expensive or beautiful, we don't add "er" or "est." That would be too hard to say. Instead, we use the words more and most. Comparative, gold is more expensive than silver. Superlative, diamonds are the most expensive gems. Think of more and most as little helpers that stand in front of the long words because those words are already big enough. There are a few rebels in English that don't follow the rules. These are the irregular adjectives, and they are the ones we use most often. You must memorize these. Good does not become gooder. It becomes better for two things and the best for the top of the group. Bad does not become badder. It becomes worse and the worst. If you say, "This coffee is gooder," people will understand you, but it isn't correct English. You want to say, "This coffee is better." Practice these irregulars today because they are the foundation of many daily conversations. Let's put this into practice. Let's compare a busy city like New York with a quiet village in the countryside. I'm going to give you an adjective, and I want you to form a sentence comparing them. First adjective, big. You could say, "New York is bigger than the village," or "The village is smaller than New York." Next adjective, quiet. The village is quieter than New York. Now let's try a long adjective. Expensive. Remember the rule for long words? We use more. New York is more expensive than the village. Now let's look at all three. We are going to use superlatives. If we look at the village, the town, and the city, which one is the biggest? The city is the biggest. Which one is the most peaceful? The village is the most peaceful. Let's try some more. Look at these three fruits. Which one is heavier than an apple? The pineapple is heavier than the apple. Which one is the sweetest? This might be a matter of opinion, but you could say, "The banana is the sweetest." Here is a quick spelling and pronunciation tip. For two-syllable adjectives that end in Y, like happy, easy, or funny, we treat them like short words. We change the Y to an I and add or est. English is easier than I thought. This is the funniest movie I've ever seen. Let's do a quick fire round. I'll say the adjective, you say the comparative and the superlative. Cold. Colder. The coldest. Beautiful. More beautiful. The most beautiful. Bad. Worse. The worst. tall, taller, the tallest. Excellent, you're getting the hang of the rhythm. The key is listening to the length of the word. Short words get the suffix, long words get the more or most in front. To summarize today's grammar focus, remember the syllable rule. It is the most important guide for you. If a word is one syllable, like old, young, or tall, use and est. If a word is three syllables or more, like dangerous, interesting, or difficult, use more and most. For two-syllable words, it's a mix, but if it ends in y, always use ir and est. And never use both at the same time. A common mistake is saying more taller or most biggest. We call this a double comparative, and it's incorrect. You only need one, either the ear ending or the word more. Never both. Also, don't forget the word then when comparing two things. A is better than B. It's the bridge that connects your two items. It's time for your Day 24 challenge. I want you to look around your room or your house right now. Find two objects and compare them. Then find three objects and pick the superlative. For example, look at your phone and your computer. You could say, my computer is larger than my phone. Then look at your shoes, your bed, and your chair. You could say, my bed is the most comfortable thing in my room. Write your comparison in the comments. Tell us about your home, your city, or even your favorite foods. Using these words in your own life is the best way to make them stick in your memory. You have officially completed Day 24. You are 80% of the way to the finish line. That is an incredible achievement. Tomorrow, for Day 25, we are going to dive into the colorful world of common idioms and slang. We'll learn how to sound less like a textbook and more like a native speaker by using expressions that don't always mean what they seem. If today's lesson was helpful, please give this video a like and share it with someone else who is learning English. Keep practicing your comparisons today. Remember, your English is getting better every day. I'll see you tomorrow.